Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and legislative assemblies for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor as your servants whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important tasks in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come under deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the peace, prosperity, and wealth of our country and of those whose interests you have committed to our church. Amen. Good morning, honorable members. I think we can start our program. Mr. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Proceed, please.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 5, papers.
Honorable members, under this order we have 2 business by Honorable Stephen Mwanthi and Honorable Robert Kisini. Honorable Stephen Mwanthi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Stephen Mwanthi, representing the great people of Kalakale Katini Ward. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order number 120, Sabbatical 4, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 3rd August 2021.
Can you finalize the end of the process of laying the paper?
The report of Committee on Finance and Revenue Collection of the consideration of the Machakos County Tax Waivers and Administration Bill 2020.
Is the paper signed?
Yes, it is.
All right. Honorable Kisini, thank you, Honorable Stephen Mwanthi. Honorable Kisini, or any member who is standing for Honorable Kisini is just laying a paper, isn't it? Yes, Honorable Dominic, thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. My name is Honorable Dominic Ndambuki, standing in for Honorable Robert Kisini, who is the Chair, Committee on Environment, Energy, Lands and Natural Resources. Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay the following paper on the floor of the House today, Tuesday, 3rd August 2021, which is a report of Committee on Environment, Energy, Lands and Natural Resources on the half-year status report on afforestation program for the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Thank you, Honorable.
Thank you. Can I see whether the paper is signed? Thank you, Honorable Dominic. Next order.
Order number 6, notice of motion.
Honorable members, under this order we have 1 business by Honorable Kisini and Honorable Dominic. You can still continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that Article 69, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides for sustainable exploitation, utilization, management and conservation of the environment and natural resources. Further aware that Article 183, Subarticle 3 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 provides that the County Executive Committee shall provide the County Assembly with full and regular reports on matters relating to the county. Informed that in exercise of the functions vested on County Assembly under Article 185, Subarticle 3 of the Constitution 2010, the County Assembly through the Committee of Environment, Energy, Lands and Natural Resources requested for the half-year performance report for the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, specifically afforestation program for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Cognizant that pursuant to Standing Order number 190, Sub-Order 5, the committee analyzed the section of the report on the implementation of afforestation program, conducted site visits, and consequently compiled a report. Honorable Speaker, I wish to give notice of motion that this Honorable House discusses and approves the report of the Committee on Environment, Energy, Lands and Natural Resources on the half-year status report on afforestation program for the Department of Environment and Natural Resources for the fiscal year 2020-2021. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Dominic Ndambuki. Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 7, not statement.
Honorable members, under this order we have one business by Honorable Mark Mwendo. I notice he's not here, so Honorable Minority Leader Alex Kamitu, please present.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Madam Speaker. I'm Alex Kamitu, Leader of Minority in this Honorable House. Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee met on Monday, 2nd August 2021 to ballot business for the House pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Order number 151, Sub-Article 5. The committee balloted business for the House as follows. 1. Tuesday morning, 3rd August 2021 at 10 a.m. A. The Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, second reading by Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Chairperson, Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. 2. Tuesday afternoon, 3rd August 2021 at 2:30 p.m. A. The Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, second reading by Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Chairperson, Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. And it will be a continuation of debate. B. Statement response on a statement requested by Honorable Peter J. Motiso on status of staffing in the Mental Health Department by Honorable Cosmas Masesi, Chairperson, Health and Emergency Services Committee. 3. Wednesday morning, 4th August 2021 at 10 a.m. A. Report of Ward Projects Committee on investigations on the implementation status for the ward priority projects under the Department of Health and Community Outreach for financial year 2020-2021 by Honorable Justus Katumo, Chairperson, Ward Projects Committee. 4. Wednesday, afternoon, 4th August 2021 at 2:30 p.m. A. The Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, Committee of the Whole House by Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Chairperson, Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. B. The Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, third reading by Honorable Stephen Mwandi, Chairperson, Finance and Revenue Collection Committee. 5. Tuesday morning, 10th August 2021 at 10 a.m. A. Report of Trade and Industrializations Committee on the status report on the performance of ADP for the Department of Economic Planning for the first quarter financial year 2020-2021 by Honorable Cosmas Keti, Chairperson, Trade, Economic Planning and Industrialization. 6. Tuesday afternoon, 10th August 2021 at 2:30 p.m. A. Report of Environment, Energy, Lands and National Committee on Inquiry report on the status of our frustrations program for the Department of Environment for the first half of financial year 2020-2021. Thank you, Madam Speaker. That's all.
Minority Leader, before you leave, the table clerk, can you confirm which member is going to present that report under business number 6? It needs to be captured on the Hansard.
Yeah, it is. Madam Speaker, this should be by Honorable Robert Kisini, Chairperson for Environment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Mr. Clerk, proceed.
Order number 8, the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, second reading.
Honorable members, under this business we have under this order we have one business, Honorable Mwanthi, Stephen Mwanthi.
Thank you once more, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to Standing Order number 121, Sabbatical 1, I wish to move the motion that the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020 be now read a second time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and so I call upon Honorable Moffat Maida to second.
Honorable Moffat Maida. Thank you. Right. Honorable Stephen Mwanthi, you've been seconded. You didn't notice. All right, proceed. Please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and with your permission, Honorable Speaker, I would request that I just go through the committee membership, then straight to number 3.
That is in order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Finance and Revenue Collection Committee is currently constituted, comprises of the following honorable members. 1, Honorable Stephen Mwanthi, Chairperson, Honorable Jospat.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order from Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think last week, Madam Speaker, we requested before reports are read, we are either provided with the copies, or Madam Speaker, they work on the internet. Mm-hmm. And what has surprised us today, Madam Speaker, without notice, we have seen labels of passwords, and yet, as per the norm, we had left behind our iPads, Madam Speaker. I don't know how we can be assisted.
I had not seen the password, that notification Wi-Fi. Yeah. That means it's one step forward, although now yes, it apparently disturbs your planning.
Yes.
So, Honorable Mita, you are proposing...
We can get copies, Madam Speaker. I thought they would arrange for copies, at least for us to be at par with the chairman.
Do we have copies available, table clerk? I can see Honorable Angela has one, Honorable Majority Leader has one. How long would it take to get the copies? There is also another alternative, honorable members, because I know you may have stopped carrying your iPads. What do you propose we do? Because it's important you understand what you're debating. Honorable Mita, what do you propose? That we take time, you get copies. Yeah, that's what the direction I wanted to hear. And then we come back what time so that you can look at the reports. Yes, how long will it take? And you need to be more organized, table clerk. Actually, you're also the director of assembly proceedings, because this communication needed to have been given to the members a while back. And now going forward, members, don't be leaving behind your iPads. It should actually be always in your pocket. So you decided to leave them. Now you need to be bringing them. We had to read the Riot Act to some people to make sure that we have Wi-Fi. Yes, yes, Honorable Stephen Mwande. Ebu simama. Another proposal is you use your smartphones. Honorable Chief Whip, what's your thinking? I will come to
We
you,
only
Honorable.
need to have a way to be at par with the chair. If our phones can work, then we can proceed, Madam Speaker. Everyone has a phone.
I've looked at the report, and for me, I found it's a simple report. Of course, there's nothing simple when you are legislating, but if we can access through our phones now, our smartphones, and as they also make a few more copies for those who will not have accessed on their smartphones, so that we can just continue and finish the reading. What do you think? You're trying to open. Just try, sorry.
Honorable Speaker, I think majority have. We can proceed. Yeah.
So, honorable members, you are now able to access the report electronically, and also for those who have printed hard copies, we continue. Mheshimiwa Stephen Mwanthi, in the same manner you had proposed that you present the report. Honorable Majority Leader, point of order.
Sorry, Madam Speaker, I know you have done a ruling, but I was thinking it is not much. We can start with the introduction because there are some, for us to go to get, I mean, there are some constitution matters. I don't think it's a big, it's only one page, Madam Speaker.
Sure.
Yeah, because this is a bill.
All right.
And sometimes it needs to be captured well in the answer.
And well understood.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker.
Oh, go ahead, Honorable Stephen Mwanthi, on that proposal.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And so I'll start with the introduction, Honorable Speaker. Article 185, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution vests legislative authority over county, its county assembly. In addition, Article 185, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution provides that...
Honorable Stephen Mwandi, sorry. I propose even that you also introduce your committee. Have you reached there?
Introduce that?
What paragraph are you? Yes, 1.0. You're right.
Article 185, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution vests legislative authority to account its counter assembly. In addition, Article 185, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution provides that a counter assembly may take any laws that are necessary for and incidental to the effective performance of the functions and exercises of the powers of the county government under the fourth schedule of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, Article 209, Sub-Article 3 of the Constitution provides for the taxes which a county may impose, and they include property rates, entertainment taxes, and C, any other tax that the county is authorized to impose by an act of parliament. In addition, Article 209, Sub-Article 4 of the Constitution give county governments powers to impose charges for the services they provide. Further, Article 210 of the Constitution provides that no taxes or licensing fees may be imposed, waived, or varied, except as provided by legislation. Honorable Speaker, the Machakos County Tax Waivers and Administration Bill 2026 to give effect to Article 210 of the Constitution as regards waiver of various charges, fees, and taxes that the county government is authorized by the Constitution to collect and the administration. In addition, the bill seeks to ensure transparency and accountability in the administration and waiving of taxes and other revenue. The bill will further provide for the requirements and procedure for tax waivers. Number 1.2, committal of the bill to the committee. The Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020 underwent the first reading in the House on 27th April 2021 pursuant to Standing Order number 119. The bill was committed to the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee pursuant to Standing Order number 120, Sub-Article 1, which provides that a bill having been read a first time shall stand committed to the relevant sectoral committee without question being put. Number 113, public participation. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Article 196, Sub-Article 1B of the Constitution of Kenya and Standing Order number 120, Sub-Article 3 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders, the committee introduced public participation in two centers per sub-county on 3rd and 4th of June 2021. Number 14, mandate of the committee. The Finance and Revenue Collection Committee is one of the sectoral committees of the Assembly established pursuant to the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders. Standing Order number 19, Sub-Article 5G defines one of the functions of sectoral committee to include making reports and recommendations to the County Assembly as often as possible, including recommendation on proposed legislation. In addition, the second schedule of the County Assembly Standing Orders defines the mandate of the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee to include all matters relating to the management of county public finance and revenue collection. 1.5, committee membership. Honorable Speaker, the Finance and Revenue Collection Committee as currently constituted comprises of the following honorable members. 1. Honorable Stephen Manthi, Chairperson. Honorable Jaspat Kasioki, Vice Chair. Honorable Petizioki, Member. Honorable Brian Kisila. Honorable Caleb Mule, Honorable Frederick Mudoka, Honorable Justus Kitengo, Honorable Judas Dawa, Honorable Moffat Maida, Honorable Phoebe Koki, Honorable Ellen Detty, Honorable Grace Mutwiwa, Honorable Cosmas Masses, all as members. Acknowledgement. I would like to register my appreciation to the committee for their cooperation in the consideration of the bill. Their dedication, sacrifice, input have been vital in processing the bill promptly amid the challenges of COVID-19. I also thank honorable members for participation in the discussion of the bill and explaining the same to Mwananchi during the public participation. Honorable Speaker, I wish to acknowledge the members of the public for turning up in numbers during public participation and their valuable views given. In addition, I thank the County Executive Committee member for Finance and his team, which included the Chief Officer, Finance and Revenue Collection, for their input towards ensuring the Act is passed, if passed, was implementable. Honorable Speaker, I also would like to thank you for your wealth of advice offered during the discussion of the bill with honorable members and during public participation, and for your support to the committee during its meetings and retreats to consider the bill. I also wish to appreciate the clerk and his team for support and advisory offered from the drafting stage of the bill, pre-publication, scrutiny, publication to consideration of the bill at the committee and public participation. Number 320.
Before you go to 3, you just guide or relate, make a reference to 2.0. What does it relate to? Just for the Hansard record, without reading everything.
Yeah. It's the provisions of the Constitution of Kenya.
And by headings, what are they?
Legal provisions relating to the bill.
Which ones are they? 2.1, you just read. The Constitution of Kenya.
The Constitution of Kenya.
The next one is 2.2.
2.2, the Public Finance Management Act
Now
2012.
you can proceed and finalize.
Number 3.
Yes, the next legal provision is what?
2.3 is the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders.
Now you are done, so we continue.
Number 3.0, the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020. 3.1, consideration of the bill by the committee. Honorable Speaker, the committee discussed the bill and also facilitated public participation pursuant to Standing Orders number 120, Sabbatical 3, in 2 centers per sub-county in the county. The committee also held forum with the executive committee member, finance, who gave their recommendations on the bill. 3.2, public hearing and receipt of memoranda. Pursuant to Article 196, Sabbatical 1B of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and Standing Orders number 120, Sabbatical 3 of the County Assembly of Machakos Standing Orders, the Assembly published an advertisement in the daily newspaper of Thursday, 27th May 2021, informing the public of the venues where the public hearings, that is public participation, in connection with the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020 will be conducted at the sub-county, at the sub-counties. The Assembly also made a daily radio announcements on Baito FM calling the public to attend hearings for the oral submissions or presentations of memoranda from 28th May to 3rd June 2021. The public were also called upon to send their memoranda through the Assembly email or on or before Wednesday, 9th June 2021. Further announcements were made in churches and other public places. Temple 3.1 below shows sub-county venue and time where public participations were held. Madam Speaker, and that is at the schedule below, that table below, sorry.
I think you can just refer to the sub-counties.
Yeah, in sub-count, on 3rd June 2021, we went to Matungulu, where we entered a venue at Tala AIC Church and Kiskioni Redeemed Church at 10 a.m. The same date, 3rd June 2021, we are in Masinga, Kidioko Chips Camp and Kiatineni outside the MCS office, also at 10 a.m. On the 3rd June 2021, we were in Niata Sub-County, Kilimani AIC, and Katangi Dio's office, all at 10 a.m. On 3rd June 2021, we were in Kangundo. We were at ABC Kalimani Church and Kangundo West, outside MCA's office. In Mwala, it was on 3rd June 2021, at Wamuni Baptist Church and Bioni Social Hall. On the same 4th June 2021, we were in Kadiani Mitaboni Catholic Church Social Hall and Kaani Lions Primary School Primary Social Hall. In Mavoko was on 4th June 2021 at Mololongo Chief's Trocodio's office and Joska Market. Then on 4th June 2021, Machakos, we were in Machakos. Venue was Machakos Social Hall and Makavet MCA's office, all at 10 a.m.
Okay.
Public views. Honorable Speaker, members of the public gave views during public participation facilitated by the Assembly on 3rd and 4th June 2021 in 2 venues each of the 8 sub-counties, The views of the members of the public have been summarized and presented below. 1. Section 5, Sabbatical 3, there is need to review timelines of 60 days for presentation of the waiver to the Assembly. Members of public felt that such days were too many. 2. Section 5, Sabbatical 4 of the bill, which states that any person may apply for a waiver, there was need for the word person to be defined under the interpretation section. This will ensure that the bill was clear on what category of persons, natural or artificial, was subjected to the waiver. 3. The Act ought to include the criteria for waiving taxes, and the procedure should as well be made public and the categories of tax to be waived. 4. There should be a clause providing for persons who were unable to clear their debts during the waivers period owing to some challenges to be allowed to pay 3 months after the closure of the waiver. 5. There should be waiver. The waiver should be announced to all people up to village level, since publication and gazettement was not enough to make people aware of the waiver. 6. The waiver should be for a period of 15 working days. Number 3. Discussion of the bill by members of the Assembly. Honorable Speaker, the committee facilitated a discussion of the bill with all members of the Assembly on 9th June 2021. And honorable members gave their proposals. Honorable members observed that Article 210 of the Constitution was the basis of the bill, as it clearly stated that if any tax was to be waived, there had to be a law allowing that. The reasons to waive taxes should be something which was advantageous to the county government in terms of collecting more revenue. In addition, the honorable members observed that the Public Finance Management Act, Section 159, gave the powers to waive taxes to County Executive Committee member of finance and not the governor, and this should be the practice once the bill was approved. Honorable members gave the following proposals for amendment of the bill. The words "with approval of the Assembly" should be added to the end of subclause 5, Sabbatical 4, to ensure that the bill was not abused. The subclause seems to give the CEC exclusive powers approve a waiver requested by an individual. Number 2, the period of 60 days given to present a proposal for a waiver to the Assembly in subclause 5, Sabbatical 3 was too long, and therefore it should be shortened to 30 days. 3, on the application for waiver to the Executive Committee member by an individual, subclause 5.4, there should be an additional subclause providing for an option of seeking a statement, bringing a petition or a motion to the Assembly for a waiver. Once the petition or the motion was approved, it can be forwarded to the department for implementation. 4, there was a need to include a clause stating that any tax waivers given before the enactment of this law are hereby revoked. 5, there was a need to provide for persons with disabilities to be exempted of paying taxes, just as was provided in the national laws. 6, there was need to review subclause 7A on the period of 14 days required for publishing the intention of the waiver in Gazette before the intended date of waiver to be done before the bill was submitted to the Assembly. The publishing was for the purpose of public participation, and it should come before the waiver was brought to the Assembly. 7, Clause 7E, Sabbatical E, should be amended to require the CEC to submit the request of the waiver together with the evidence that public participation was done and also the comments of the public on the waiver. There was need to include another clause to provide for publishing of the details of the waiver by CEC after approval by the Assembly. This was important as the Assembly may amend the proposal of the waiver. 9, there was need to provide a clause on discount for those who pay tax promptly. 3. For submissions of Department of Finance Revenue Collection on the bill. Honorable Speaker, the committee invited submissions from the Chief Officer, Finance Revenue Collection, via letter reference number MKSCA/PSC/CMM/FRC/volume 84, dated 8 July 2021. The Chief Officer was also to appear before the committee on 26th July 2021 for discussion on the bill. The Chief Officer forwarded the following memorandum for consideration by the committee. The 60 days proposed for presentation of the waiver to the Assembly in Section 5.3 be reduced to 15 days. 2. We suggest that the term person in Section 5.4 of the bill be clearly defined. The section that states any person may apply for waiver, does this term refer to artificial persons, in brackets such as companies or other corporate organizations, or natural persons? There is need for clear definition. 3. In addition to the requirement to publish in gazettement as stipulated in Section 7A, there should also be requirement to publicize waivers in local radio stations and other local media outlets in order to ensure the information reaches the widest possible audience. 4. We propose that a clause be added to the bill to allow the CC Finance in situations of emergency to issue waivers, then seek approval of the same within 15 days of issue of such a waiver. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered the proposals of the Department of Finance and Revenue Collection and made the following observations. A. The proposal to shorten the period of 60 days to 15 days for presentation of the waiver by CC to the Assembly in Section 5.3 of the bill was too short to enable the House consider and approve the waiver. The committee observed that 30 days proposed by the members of the public was more achievable. B. That the need to interpret the term person and also be proposed by members of the public. The committee observed that even though the term person was the same as interpreted in the Constitution, there was need to provide for its interpretation in the bill for avoidance of doubt. C. That the waiver needed to have as much publicity as possible so as to achieve the intended purpose. Thus, the need to publicize in radio stations and other local media outlets. D. That having a clause to allow the CC Finance in situations of emergency to issue a waiver, then seek approval of the same within 15 days of the issue would defeat the purpose of approval. The time period of that days provided in Section 5.3 doesn't mean that the waiver needs to wait for the 15th day. It can be approved even on the
30th day.
For the 30th day. It can be approved even on the second day. The CC needs to explain the urgency and marshal the Assembly for prompt approval of the waiver. The committee has considered the possibility of having the CC extend the waiver for not more than 30 days if there is good reason that more revenue can be raised. Committee observations. Honorable Speaker, the committee considered the views of the public collected during public participation, memoranda submitted by various bodies, views of honorable members and submissions of the CECM for finance and economic planning. The committee observed the following. 1. That the period of 60 days provided in subclause 5.3 was too long as waivers were meant for expediency and financial advantage. When the waiting period for a waiver is too long, it may bring about uncertainties in revenue collection, whereby tenders may even stop paying taxes awaiting approval of the waiver. 2. That term person in the bill applied to both the natural and artificial person as defined in the Constitution, and there was no need to interpret it further in this bill. For avoidance of doubt, there should be a provision on the interpretation of the term. 3. The bill under clause 9 provides for making of regulations which will provide, among other things, categories of tax waivers and procedure of application of tax waivers. In addition, Section 7 provides for public participation whereby the County Executive Committee member will be required to make the waiver public before forwarding the waiver to the Assembly for approval. This means that there is no need to have clauses providing for categories of tax or procedure for a waiver. 4. Members of public requested that persons who are not able to clear their debts during the waiver period due to some challenges be allowed up to 3 months to clear their debts. The committee observed that this proposal will defeat the purpose of the waiver, thus it was not admissible. However, the committee observed that the CC may be given some powers to be able to extend the period of the waiver by not more than 30 days, if in this opinion that such an extension will assist in collecting more revenue, or there were circumstances that interfered with the period of the waiver, such as system failure, staff strike, among other reasons. The extension should be reported to the Assembly within 15 days of such an extension. Members of public also proposed that the waiver be announced up to the village level. The committee observed that the CC should publicize the waiver widely, thus the need to provide for use of radio stations and other local media outlets. Number 6. On the proposal by public that the waiver should be for 15 days, the committee observed that each waiver requested will have its own period depending on its objective or targeted client. Number 7. In subclause 5, subarticle 4, which provides that any person may apply for the
Stephen, one thing. If it's a clause, then it is a sub-clause. If it is a paragraph, it is a sub-paragraph. Article, sub-article. Order, sub-order.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Number 7, in subclause 5, 4, which provides that any person may apply to the CC for a tax waiver, the committee observed that the subclause seems to be given this seems to give the CC powers to approve waiver solely, and thus there was need to add the words with approval of the Assembly. Number 8. On the proposal that a subclause be added after Section 5.4, providing for seeking of a statement, bringing up of a petition, or moving a motion in the Assembly, the committee observed that these were ways of representation and were well provided in other laws, including standing orders, and did not require a provision in the bill. The committee further observed that it was important to have a transitional clause that any waiver which may have been granted before the enactment of the law be revoked. Such waivers are not as per the provisions of Article 210 of the Constitution and Section 159 of the PFM Act. Number 10. On the proposal that the bill provides for exemption of waiver to PWDs, the committee observed that the PWD Act was sufficient and it was already being implemented and PWDs were not paying taxes and fees to the county government. By 11, on the need to review the subclause 7A to ensure that publishing the indentation of the waiver in the Gazette, the committee observed that the CC needed to publish the waiver in the Gazette before submitting the request to the Assembly. The CEC should attach the Gazette and views of the public to the request of approval of the waiver to the Assembly. Number 12. The committee also observed that after the Assembly approves the waiver, the CEC should first gazette the approved waiver before commencing its implementation. This serves as a legal notice that the Finance Act was being amended for a short period when the waiver is in force. The CC should publicize the waiver widely. Number 13, on the need to provide a discount on those who pay taxes promptly, the committee observed that such provisions can only be prescribed in the Finance Act. Number 50, committee recommendations. Based on the views of the public honorable members and committee observations, the committee makes the following recommendations to be considered by the House during the committee of the whole to amend the bill. Number 1, that the term person be provided for in the clause 2 on interpretations. The meaning should be the same as is provided in the Constitution and should include both the natural and artificial person. 2, that subclause 5.3 be amended by deleting 60 days and substituting thereof with 30 days. 3, that subclause 5.4 be amended by adding the words with approval of the Assembly after the word waiver. 4, that subclause 7a be amended by deleting the words in the old subclause and substituted thereof with the words publishing the intention to waive in the Gazette before the intended waiver was submitted to the Assembly for approval. 5, that subclause 7e be amended by deleting the words in the old subclause and substituted thereof with the words take into consideration the views of the public in submitting a request of waiver approval to the Assembly and attach evidence of public participation. 6, that a new clause be added after clause 7 stating that the CEC should publish the approved waiver in the Gazette, radio stations and other local media outlets before implementing the waiver. 7, that a new clause be added after clause 7 that the CEC may extend the period of the waiver if in his opinion there is such a compelling need to extend the waiver, and such extension should not exceed 30 days. The extension should be reported in the Assembly within 15 days of such extension. The reasons include, in the opinion of the CEC, the extension will lead to more revenue collection or unforeseen events such as breakdown of revenue system, unrest or lockdown interfered with the revenue collection during that period. 8, that a new clause which is a transitional clause be added after clause 9 in the bill, providing that any waiver which may have been granted before the enactment of this act is hereby revoked. 6.0, conclusion. Honorable Speaker, the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020 gives effect to the principles set out in the Constitution by providing for the conditions of a tax waiver. The bill is enacted. If enacted, it will be a tool which the County Executive Committee member for Finance will be able to use to achieve equity in case unforeseen events affecting business as has been case with the COVID-19. The CEC will also be able to use the Act to aid in collecting more revenue by waiving some penalties or interest for some revenue sources such as land rates. In addition, the Act may be used to attract strategic investors where certain fees may be waived. Honorable Speaker, I therefore urge the Honorable House to approve the bill together with the proposed amendments. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Stephen Monti. So, honorable members, let me propose the question. Honorable members, I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order number 121, Suborder 1 of the Assembly Standing Orders, the Machakos County Tax Waivers Administration Bill 2020, into bracket Machakos County Bill number 6, be now read a second time. So, honorable members, that is a proposed question. That means that the matter is now owned by the House, and there's a proposal that at this point, because of some matter that needs to be handled as per the balloted business, that we proceed with the debate in the afternoon. Is there any objection to that? Members, what are your views? I'm being guided by the table office that the debate proceeds in the afternoon as per the balloted business. Honorable Whip, Chief Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would agree with the balloting, how it has been arranged, because, Honorable Speaker, what the Chair Finance has taken us through is very important, and we need again to sit down and go through the report, Honorable Speaker. As you are aware, Madam Speaker, matters related to waivers, not only in our county, but also I think across the country, have been misused, Madam Speaker. We have seen situations whereby waivers are being done without approval of assemblies, and we have a very important role, Madam Speaker, in such matters. So I would request on behalf of my colleagues, we are given time now that the report has been read officially. Then we go through the report so that in the afternoon plenary we'll be able now to make our contributions, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Whip. That makes a lot of sense. I also noted that the bill, the published bill, is now supplied to you as we proceeded with this reading of the report. So you will be able, honorable members, to go through the report vis-a-vis the bill that is already now, the published bill that is supplied to you. So at this point, honorable members, this sitting will be adjourned, and it will proceed on the 3rd day of August 2021 at 2:30 p.m. Honorable members, the sitting is adjourned to proceed on the 3rd day of August 2021 at 2:30 p.m. Thank you.